Do you want to live in an economic hub that isn't Saskatoon or Regina? This week on the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast, we sit down with investor Blaise Mutton and we explore the 5 reasons why you should live in Estevan, Saskatchewan.
This is the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast, the show that highlights Saskatchewan real estate. Looking to buy your first house, your next investment property? Subscribe to never miss an episode. Here's your host, Ron Caroni.
Hello and welcome back to the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. I'm your host, Ron Caroni, and today we are joined by hometown boy from Estevan, Blaise Mutton, and we're going over the top 5 reasons why Estevan is a great place to live. Blaise, thanks so much for joining us today. Really appreciate having you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Ron. It's an honor to be here.
Really happy to have you on today because, of course, you grew up in Estevan. But Blaise, give us a little bit more of an introduction of yourself and your connection to Estevan and your involvement in real estate.
So I grew up here on a family farm and then started working out of high school in the oil field and just been working here ever since, and then started investing just over a year ago, actually.
Wonderful. And I think we've touched on this before, but you don't actually own any real estate in Estevan, but you do hope to kind of in the near future or moving up here.
Yeah, I have been looking recently, just had a couple fall out, but still looking and hoping for the best.
Wonderful. Awesome. Well, I'm really excited. I really love these episodes where we kind of expand upon Saskatchewan communities, especially because people outside of the province are really only going to know about Saskatoon and Regina. So this might be the first time that a lot of people are hearing about Estevan, but just going through your notes, Blaise, it sounds like an incredible place with a lot going on. So definitely excited to get right into this. So at number 1, Blaise, we have investment back into the community.
For a small town, they like to keep it pretty nice here. They just built a new wing on our hospital, which is up to date. It's super nice. We also just built a brand new rink for our Estevan Bruins, who actually just won 2022 SJHL champions. So that's
wonderful. Yeah, for any of you hockey fans out there, the SJHL is fairly big in communities of Humboldt, Melfort, Nipawin, Estevan, of course. So yeah, that must be very exciting for you guys.
Yeah, super exciting. And actually this, I guess depending on when this airs, but we're hosting the Centennial Cups. We have a bunch of teams from all over Canada coming here.
And that is still on the junior level, right, Blaise?
Yep.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Awesome.
21 and under.
So still touching on investment back into the community, are there some other amenities of the town that make it a really great place?
We just built a brand new outdoor splash park for kids. They've revitalized a bunch of parks and dog parks, done a brand new walking path and biking path around the whole city. And then they just did an approval for a complete revitalization of downtown. So they're going to redo the whole stretch of it. Should be super nice. And that just started.
That's really, really awesome. And I think that's one thing that families often look for is this a nice place where I can raise a family? Are there some additions? And like you touched on a lot of nice things there, dog park, hospital. So, there's investment back into the community. Moving on to number 2, Blaise, we have diverse economy.
So there's a lot of places to work. We have a big coal mine with lots of drag lines and lots of work there. We have multiple power generation plants here just outside of town. Huge agriculture division, like it's just farmland everywhere you can see. And then big oil and gas, like lots of oil and gas all around within hours of us. We do manufacturing and goods and services for all these different economies that need to be dealt with.
So I'm going to challenge you, Blaise, and I want you to push back with the positive reason, because I've never actually been to Estevan, but there is this perception that Estevan is only an oil and gas town, and it will boom and it will bust. What can you say about that?
So when we're booming, we're good, but even in the bust areas, we're getting back to like a normal small town level. It's just not at that accelerated growth that you would see during the boom, because even in this most recent bust, so you call it, we're just back to normal rents, and as long as you didn't buy in the boom, you should be good. Like I know a lot of people, some of the investors that I was just talking to that I was looking at buying their places, they had zero vacancy through this whole bust.
Wow.
Just if you price it right.
So if we're talking about cycles, Blaze, are we saying that would you view Estevan as just kind of entering another uptick here? Where would you say that the city is on an economic scale from that side?
We're definitely in the upswing right now with the price of oil and all these extra things coming into our town right now.
So, Blaze, with all of these high income jobs, as we're kind of going through that list, coal mine, power generation, agriculture, oil and gas, a lot of high paying jobs, obviously that does wonders for the local community.
Yeah, so it helps because there's a lot of small businesses that get to service all these big economies as well, and those are creating more jobs for more people, and then it's a nice pyramid effect that helps everyone.
Unlike your local MLM, this is a good type of pyramid.
Yeah. This ain't a pyramid scheme. It's a good pyramid. Strong
Awesome.
base.
On to number 3, Blaze, affordable living.
Yeah, so we're very reasonably price for rent right now. Your 2 1s are going for about 850, 900. And then your average price per home right now is super reasonable at 200,000, where compared to some of those big cities like Toronto and that, I don't even know what they are. Like, it's crazy.
But even when we compare that to a Saskatoon or Regina, that is a lot lower than what your average price is. And kind of you touched on what you might see for rents. That's almost comparable. So your cash flow might actually be much better in a place like Estevan.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Awesome. So you don't currently own any properties in Estevan, but we kind of mentioned that you're kind of hoping to. Is there any particular style of house that you're looking to get into, or for anyone outside of Estevan that you would, just on your own opinion, say would be a good buy?
I'm actually looking for small multifamily, 4plexes and 6plexes, maybe an 8plex if it comes up. But so then I could potentially, hopefully, live in one, do a house hack, potentially
wonderful.
live in one and rent out the other ones.
Awesome. Going on to number 4, and I really love this one because especially when we talked about the economy, Blaze, you listed off a lot of things that, we're talking about coal, oil, and gas, but here coming in at number 4 is the counterbalance to that, green energy technology.
Yeah, so like you said, like it's boom and bust with that fossil fuel technology or economy, but we also have lots of green energy technology coming in. We actually have the first in the whole world to have an industrial carbon capture facility at our power plant there.
That's
incredible.
incredible.
Which is equivalent to taking over 1 million tons of CO2 per year out of the atmosphere, which is hard to justify. I guess it's about 250,000 cars a year.
Wow. And so keep running us through this, Blaze. I see at B you have here progress towards a geothermal plant.
Yeah, first in Canada as well. They've actually been working on this the past couple years, and it's just using the Earth's core to heat up water to make power, which is completely reusable, no emissions. So
That's so awesome. And even from the sense too, we were talking about oil and gas, and we're also talking about green energy. And both things are, I would say, very hot right now when you talk about economics. What are people looking for? What are they looking to invest in? Oil, of course, gas prices at the pump are very high, but people are also looking to offset that with the green energy. It sounds like Estevan is doing a great job of kind of counterbalancing both of those. Anything else to add on the side when we're talking about green energy and the city of Estevan?
Well, yeah, for sure. So even the gas plants in our area are building their own power generators, and which means that they would burn natural gas instead of your normal coal burning, which has more more emissions. So that has low greenhouse gas emissions, which is super good for the area as well. And then we are the sunshine capital of Canada as well. And we are getting the largest industrial solar farm in all of Saskatchewan.
That is incredible. Is there a timeline on that, Blaze, or when that might happen?
I think we just got approved for it, and they are in the process of bidding it out right now, last I checked.
Jeez, I love that. Yep. Green energy and the oil and gas is just like the perfect mixture. And
Yeah.
last but not least, Blaze, we have activities in Estevan. Take us through it.
Yeah, so we have several golf courses that are super nice. A couple of lakes, a beach. They're all within 10 minutes of the city. And then we have museums. You can do tours of the mines. And we also, even for your nighttime, we have concerts all the time. We even get some big names like Sum 41 and Gord Bamford. So you got your rock and roll and your country. And then, of course, you got your walking, biking trails, your indoor, outdoor pools, lots of campgrounds that are next to the river that goes by. It's just a lot of big city amenities in a small town atmosphere, which is nice.
You did such a good job putting this together, Blaze, of listing all of these amazing things that I'd never been to Estevan, but now I'm seriously considering, moving my mortgage business from Saskatoon and putting it up in Estevan, because it just sounds like a wonderful town. Is there anything else to add on the topic of the city of Estevan, your hometown? Anything else that you'd like to touch on here?
No, it's just I feel like it's a very safe place to be. It's a great place to raise a family and grow up, and yeah, it's just a lot of community involvement.
Wonderful.
Highly recommended.
All right, my last question to you before we get to your contact information, Blaze, I like to ask everyone who comes on the podcast this question. If you could go back and give a younger version of yourself some advice, what would that advice be?
My advice would be to keep educating myself after school, because I didn't educate myself till about 2 years ago, and then it's just seen exponential growth since. So never stop learning.
Wonderful. Good for you. All right, contact information. If someone has a question about the community or they just want to touch base and chat real estate, what's the best way to get in touch, Blaze?
Probably Facebook would be the best way to get a hold of me. I'll answer all my DMs and would love to connect with anyone.
Wonderful. Awesome. Thanks so much for your expertise on the city of Estevan, Blaze. We really appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Ron.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Saskatchewan Real Estate Podcast. If you liked it and found it informative, do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe button. Again, if you're looking for more information on moving to Estevan, please feel free to check out my website below to get in contact with me about the potential of getting a mortgage in that community. If you're looking for more information on Saskatchewan real estate, check out my social channels in the description below. I'm Ron Caroni, your Saskatchewan mortgage professional. Until next week, bye for now.